Hello, my brothers and sisters. How are you on today? God is a good God, and I just wanted to share with you Exodus chapter 15, verse 25, right? Moses cried out to the Lord. You know, the bitter waters made sweet. The bitter waters made sweet. But the thing is that we shouldn't grumble against God, not grumbling against God, but thanking the Lord for every single thing that He is doing in our life. You know, all of the answered prayers, anything, the unexpected monetary gifts or funds when you're, dealing with some financial, challenges or whatnot. And so I wanted to share this with you out of this verse here in Exodus chapter 15. And I'll be reading from the King James Version. And it says, "And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them." And there he proved them. See, and as an answered prayer to as an answer to prayer, unexpected funds can come in. And you may be a person that is dealing with some situations where, you just paid a big bill and you don't, and now something else has come up and you don't know how you're going to get through it. You don't know how, you're going to make it through it. And so you questioning, where am I going to get this money from? I just paid off this dental treatment, or I just paid off this car repair, and now something else is up. Where am I going to get this money from? And everything just keeps happening, and it's just all of this is coming up, and I'm just getting tired. You may be grumbling and thinking about all of that. And then all of a sudden, these resentful thoughts of heavy expenses fill your mind, right? And at the time, that another bill is due, you're wondering, where am I going to get the money? And then all of a sudden, a cash gift come in, maybe from a relative, maybe someone owed you some money from a long time ago, and you didn't think they were ever going to pay you. And then all of a sudden, you start feeling ashamed. You know why? Because you start to think about how God has already provided for you. How the Lord has provided for you, in the past. He's made a way out of no way. And you start to think, I'm so ashamed. I shouldn't have been grumbling. Because when I reflect back over everything that the Lord has done, and I look back over the Lord's track record and how He's brought me this far and how He's made a way out of no way, I should have been asking Him for help instead of complaining, grumbling, and griping, right? And so remember the Israelites, when they entered the desert of Shur, they experienced God's deliverance at the Red Sea. Remember in Exodus chapter 14, when they experienced God's deliverance at the Red Sea. His miraculous help, however, now seemed forgotten as they grumbled over the absence of drinkable water. See, how soon do we forget? How soon do we forget everything that the Lord has delivered us from, brought us from, helped us with, provided for us? But as soon as something else come up, we start to grumble and gripe, and we forget all that the Lord has done. And we even forget to ask the Lord to help us. We'll go and grumble, gripe, and complain instead of saying, Lord, you already know the situation. I need your help, Lord. I need you, Lord, to do it, because I don't know how it is going to be. I don't know. But you think about, the Hebrew word for grumbling. It refers to rebellion against God. And the resentful response of the Israelites was very different from Moses, who asked God for help, over in verse 25 that I've shared with you. And later, God graciously provided water for His people, over in verses 25 through 27, because Moses asked, right, when he cried out to the Lord. But if I share with you verse 26 and 27, which I am, and it says, "And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in His sight, and will give ear to His commandments, and keep all His statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee." And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 80 and 10 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. Look at how God worked that out. Because Moses went to the Lord and he cried unto the Lord over here in verse 25. And the Lord showed him a tree which he had cast into the waters. The waters were made sweet, where he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. The bitter waters made sweet. How many of your water was bitter when you tasted it? And it was made sweet by God. See, only God can make your bitter water sweet. But you got to cry out to the Lord. Instead of grumbling, griping, and complaining, you need to cry out to the Lord, right? And whether his help comes in miraculous ways, practical provisions, or people's assistance, or the strength to endure, we can trust that he hears us and cares for us. Bitter water made sweet. See, in the past, let me ask you this question. In the past, what may have caused you to grumble in times of need? See, only you can answer that question. And I'm sure that you have the answer. And how can you remind yourself to always turn to God for help, just as Moses did over here in Exodus chapter 15, verse 25? Moses turned to God for help. He didn't grumble and gripe, but he turned to God. He turned to him for help. And you know what? He's a faithful God. He is our provider. And we need to ask him, Lord, please help me to look to you and trust you and to rely on you in times of need. Help me not to grumble and to complain and to gripe, but to look to you in times of need. And I don't know about you, but there are a lot of needs that need to happen in people's lives. And I want to encourage someone on today. Instead of grumbling, griping, and complaining, give it to the Lord. Turn to the Lord and say, Lord, I need your help, Lord. You know everything about it. You know all the things I've been going through. You know about the bill I just paid and the one that's due. Lord, I need your help. Only you, Lord, can make a way out of no way. So, Lord, I trust you to do just what you said you're going to do. And I thank you in advance, Lord, for doing it. And the Lord will do it in the way that he's going to see fit, making bitter waters sweet. God bless you all. Bye.